The mysterious symbol. Once upon a time, there were two sisters, Emily and Mia. They were avid readers and loved nothing more than getting lost in the pages of a good book. The books could take the girls on adventures to faraway places and experience things they never could in real life. Needless to say, that the girls always remained safe even in the most dangerous adventures, as the villains could not just jump out of the books and hurt them. At least, the girls thought so. Anyways, their favorite books were ancient Greek myths. They loved reading about the brave heroes, the cunning goddesses, and the fierce monsters. The sisters were fascinated by the stories of the powerful magic and intrigued by the epic battles and heroic deeds. The myths taught the girls important lessons about bravery, kindness, and perseverance. So the sisters found their inspiration in the stories and often discussed them with each other, imagining themselves as the brave heroes and heroines of the ancient world. One day, they stumbled upon an ancient Greek myth about a maze and a minotaur. The older sister, Emily, noticed a symbol on the minotaur's belt, and she took out her magnifying glass to get a better look. As she focused in on the symbol, it started to move and transform. Suddenly, the picture in the book started to shine brightly until it was impossible to look directly into it. The girls closed their eyes, but when they opened them again, they found themselves in the same maze described in the myth. The maze was made of high walls of thick stone that towered above them. The walls were adorned with intricate carvings and etchings of beasts and heroes. The air was cool and damp, and a faint smell of earth and moss filled their nostrils. The girls could hear the faint sound of water droplets dripping onto the ground. As they explored the maze, they saw many strange objects scattered about. They saw rusty swords and shields lying in the corners, and pieces of ancient pottery and statues that had been chipped and broken over time. The ground was made of cold, hard stone, with occasional patches of moss and grass. Suddenly they heard a terrible roar behind them. The girls started to run. Some people, when faced with a scary situation, become stunned and are unable to move. But the sisters were used to face monsters in their books, and they were quick thinkers. The girls used their wits to avoid being caught. The minotaur was very big and strong, but he did not run very fast. When the girls managed to break away from the minotaur, they began to think about the tactics of the battle. Emily and Mia came up with the idea of creating distractions. They picked up rocks and stones and threw them in different directions, hoping that the minotaur would be fooled and go in the wrong direction. The minotaur was indeed misled, and the girls were able to slip by unnoticed. The sisters continued to use their intelligence, coming up with new tricks to stay one step ahead of the minotaur. Later, the girls came up with the idea of climbing over some walls. They found that the walls were not too high in some places and made of larger stones more suitable for climbing. It was not too hard together, helping each other. Sometimes they did this whenever they encountered a dead end, and this allowed them to continue their journey without being caught by the minotaur. They also used this strategy when they needed to hide from the monster. The older sister then suggested using the echoes in the maze to their advantage. She would yell and the sound would bounce off the walls, giving the illusion that they were in one spot, when in reality they had moved on. The minotaur was thrown off, and the sisters continued on their journey. One of their other tricks was to create a fake trail leading away from their true route. The girls sometimes placed scraps made of their clothes on the ground to make it look like they were walking in one direction, but the sisters snuck in the opposite direction, making their way deeper into the maze. As they finally reached the center of the maze, they saw the same symbol they had seen in the book, located on a shrine. They thought that it was the key to getting back home, but no matter what they tried, nothing seemed to work. It wasn't until Emily looked at the symbol through the front side of the lenses of her glasses, and the symbol started to transform again, and the same bright shine appeared. In a minute, the girls found themselves back in their bedroom. The sisters never forgot the amazing adventure they had in the maze. They continued to read and explore ancient myths, always searching for the next exciting adventure. No matter what challenges you may face in life, always try to stay calm and think clearly. You have the strength and the courage to overcome any obstacle, no matter how big or small. And when you keep a clear mind and a brave heart, you will always find a way to conquer your fears and achieve your dreams.